What's going on, everyone? This is Elias with the No Sabo podcast. I'm here with my dog.
It's me, John.
I'm here with John today. Just us two, man. No Rice today. So
it does feel kind of weird not having.
Yeah.
It's usually just us two, and now you.
Yeah. I'm on time today. Things are looking up, right?
Yeah, you are on time today.
It's crazy.
I thought you were already here. That's why I was like, I booked something at 9 because I'm like, fuck, like I don't have any other time. And I'm like, we'll be fine at 10. And then when you said 9, I was like, damn. But the crazy thing is, like, I was able to go in and out the house in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so by the time I texted you, it was like 9:05, 9:10, I think, and I was already like basically done.
That's awesome.
And so I'm like,
did you say 9:10?
9:10, sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, what is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you been up to?
Honestly, man, this month, it started off, having to go to Arizona for soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next week it was my wife's birthday and my son's birthday. So that's a whole week,
Yeah.
And then the week after that, soccer tournament in, Twin Falls.
Yeah.
And then we go to Arizona again. We actually leave tonight.
Damn.
And we come back and then we leave next weekend to Boise, and then it's our last soccer tournament. So October has been the craziest soccer month. Well, one of them. It was absolutely crazy. I missed 2 weddings. Yeah. I missed Neldon's. I missed Austin's. We're either out of town, or I think during Neldon's we had 7 soccer games with all my kids that day.
Yeah.
So it's just been insane. And then business is starting to boom, which is really cool. So that alone has been insane. So it's almost over. We got 2 weeks, and then we don't have soccer practice anymore. We don't have soccer tournaments. Jacoby will still have, I think he has to go to New Mexico one of the weekends this winter. And then after that, man,
Does he still have to go during the winter up to Utah?
Practice, yeah. So that's the crazy thing about him making one of the national teams now is like he's once a week on Thursdays. I got to take the boys up to Utah to practice, and we'll probably do it again next year.
Really?
It's just, and I'm kind of in my dad era, so it just puts my son. Yeah, he can be one of the top players in Southeast Idaho. He made the Olympic development team, so he can be one of the best players in Idaho. But once you start seeing these boys in, Arizona and even Salt Lake, where they have just more people than we do in the state of Idaho, it's like the competition's just greater. And he's holding up well. He's playing well. He's doing awesome. So it's like, it's cool. And then next fall, and this is a big thing in youth soccer, is they're changing up the date of births. So the teams are going to be like totally different.
Really?
Right now, they go based off of year of birth, so like 2012. So Jacoby was born in October. So he's playing against kids that are like 9 months older than him, 8 months older than him. And you don't see that big of a difference here locally, but when you start going to bigger cities, you're like, dang, these kids born February of 2012 are so much bigger than my son. So the cutoff date is moving to August. So now he's going to be one of the oldest boys in his age group.
Gotcha.
So we'll still probably play him up, but when it comes down to like the national leagues and like the Olympic development stuff, he has to play with his age group, and he'll be one of the older ones. So it'll flip it for him, but it's been really cool to just kind of see, and it's been eye-opening. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That I know that doesn't have to do with soccer, but I was watching a video the other day because you're talking about small town.
Yeah.
We have a lot of NFL players that come out from this East Idaho area, especially like Boise, even these small towns. Like I was looking at one that this guy came out of Preston.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like you talk about small town. I get there's not that much competition, but I feel like if you're good, you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
And then you can adapt real fast, especially when you get in like those situations that there's like a lot of people. Because I understand it may be harder in bigger cities to try to prevail, because like, man, you can get like flooded out real quick.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. I like hearing those stories, like just seeing where they're going.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. He turned 13 this year, my baby. He was my first one. So like that's been eye-opening for me too as a dad. But yeah, you know, and I'm not one of those dads that are like, yeah, my son's going to be professional, right? Like, I don't know what he's going to be. I just want him to be whatever he wants to be. But I just know that I want to be able to support him, because my dad supported me a lot, but he worked swing shifts. So like, there were some weeks where he just couldn't come to my games, couldn't give me a ride to practice. I'd never be able to do a national league, you know? So to be able to give that to my kids today feels good, but it wouldn't have been possible without my dad's sacrifices when I was a kid, you know? So you just try to just be a little bit better than your parents, you know, and hopefully my kids see it. But for me, it's like, it's a lot. Like, sometimes me and my wife are like, how are we going to do today? Like seven games, we have to separate, we have to miss. Like this last tournament we had in Twin Falls, Noah, I didn't see one of his games.
Really?
And that was hard for me, because I'm usually trying to be to everyone. So all of his games and Jacoby's games were at the same time, and I coached Jacoby's team. So it was hard, but that's just part of the sacrifices you got to make when you have so many kids involved in the same
especially
sport.
Since you're coaching too.
Yeah.
Dang. Where do you draw the line, like, to balance that out? Like, how is it fair for all the kids to use?
Yeah, you know, I think we rotate per season. You know, like last season, I was very focused on Noah's team. Jacoby, the high school coach, can coach Jacoby's team in the spring because they're not in high school yet. So he helped there. So I was very absent from Jacoby's team, you know. So I think just the rotation and communicating with my kids. Like I think last year it was Noah's team and Jacoby's team both made the championship game. I had to leave Jacoby's game around halftime or second half, and we were up. I think it was like 5-2, 19 minutes left. And I'm like, yeah, I got to go. I gave my son a hug, basically congratulated him. And I go to coach Noah's team, which I'm late for that one, you know. And I'm getting text messages during the game, and Jacoby's team ended up, you know, they ended up tying the game, and they lost in penalty kicks. And I'm not there. And I'd like to think that if I was there, I would have made a difference and we could have won. So you get that dad guilt, but also like, yeah, you got to try to balance it out, because, you know, like this year I spent a lot of time with my girls, with Maya, you know, and it was just cool to see them do their thing. And I didn't really spend a lot of time with Noah's team, but he was playing up this year with the age group a year older, their premier team. So it was like he has coaches that can do it, and you got to be willing to let go and trust that like other people can probably do a better job at coaching your own kid. So just having that comfort of just being like, hey, all right, like you got them, and you just try to fill in where you can. Because I love coaching, man. It's fun, and just being able to do it, you know, and coach my kids, it's really cool. So
yeah, I definitely, at least, I mean, the little soccer that I played when I was younger, I remember like a lot of the times that it was more of a encouragement type of. I never played soccer that was intense.
Yeah.
And so I was like thinking about it. I feel like maybe, and I think this is like different for every single person, but for me, I may have wished to have coaches that pushed you harder instead of making it like a rec league. Yeah. And so like I definitely look back at that. And then, I mean, there was always seasons that we played indoor that we never won a whole season. Yeah. Because we were there to have fun. But I mean, part of me would think like I wish we would have taken it more serious, because sometimes I feel like no matter what you do, you should put all your effort into it, even if it's for fun. Yeah. But then, like I said, there's always like the bad side. Like people take it way too serious. Yeah. Like I like to look at the Sunday league here. Like, bro, if you're getting a fight over like a Sunday league, I'm like, there's something wrong there. Like that takes away the.
Yeah, it's a crazy balance in youth sports, man. Because I don't see myself as a hard coach. I know some parents would disagree, you know. But with the generation that's growing up today, like to me, like you still got to have those main principles of like, you know, like on our competitive teams, you know, I look at Noah's team. I think they've won like their 2016, his age group, not the older group he's playing in, but they've won like 6 tournaments in a row. They are not used to losing, and they set that standard. You know, as a coach, I just want them to play the game the right way. And, we got 7 really good players. And then we have players that are trying to develop and catch up, and for me, I'm just big on like, hey, you're going to play, but you also got to earn your spot. You got to fight for your spot. My starters know that, nothing's given to them, and they play hard and they compete. And, as parents kind of step into that age group and they just see, because I will, I treat my kids like they're humans. I'm open. I'm honest with them. I talk to them. I try to coach them up. If this is what you're doing wrong, I'm going to tell you this is what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Here's how you correct it. We have like even Maya's team, my girls' team. They're competitive, but they just like to have more fun. Like some of our cheers going into the field are like 6, 7. All the stuff at the kids. So I let them have fun. But they each team kind of takes its own shape. But yeah, as a coach, I just believe in teaching encouragement and helping them understand, because especially at a youth level, like you're going to face adversity, whether you're playing a lot or you're sitting the bench a lot. But I've seen a lot of kids who sat the bench early and then just competed, and now they're starters, and I don't take them out. And it's like, those are the journeys that I love to see the kids do, because they can show themselves that, because just like in life, dude, like I look at your industry, nothing's given to you. You got to work your ass off, and you always got to, you can't get complacent, because someone's trying to call your clients today, right? And wants to get them to go with him, or with them or her, whoever. So it's like youth sports teaches them more than just the sport,
Yeah. I remember, it's like a clear memory in my mind. I remember when we were still like in high school, and I had a couple friends that, man, they were good. Like they could have kept going, but I feel like I remember hearing them sometimes like, fuck, I don't want to go to soccer today. Like at least for the Sunday leagues, I don't want to go to soccer.
Yeah.
And I felt like maybe their parents, because they were very involved too, either coaching or part of the team.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it. I think maybe it's a Hispanic thing, but the parents push them hard to become better. And I feel like you don't. And I guess you could say in anything in life, I was in the shoes at one point that you're like, your parents are trying to do the best for you, and sometimes it doesn't come off the right way. And so I feel like a lot of my friends, they ended up hating playing because the parents pushed them too hard, even though they were really, really good.
Yeah, I see that a lot, even as a coach on the sidelines, and even being a dad on the sidelines, because now Jacoby's playing for, that national team. I'm not the coach for that one. Noah's playing for the older premier team, and I coach the younger team. And you start to see things on the sidelines, hear things on the sidelines, even playing against other coaches. Sometimes you're right next to the other coach's bench. You hear them yelling at their kids and different things. So I think kids can definitely get burnt out. For me, I don't push my kids to the one I might push, maybe more so than anyone else. It's my girl. It's Maya. I see her as someone that she can be great at whatever she wants to be at. She just needs a little bit of push to try it.
Yeah.
And once she tries it, I stop the pushing there at that end, But like for me, we never really play soccer in the winter or the summertime. I want them to kind of have a break, let their bodies heal. But there are just people that they just don't understand that, like, hey, this kid's 8. He's not a completed product yet. His body and brain hasn't developed, but yet you're yelling at him like he should know what you know. And I had that discussion on a coach's page where there's the parents that don't know anything about soccer that are coaching on the sidelines that aren't really coaching the right things, and then there's the ones that played soccer at a high level that are just too hard on their kids, and you see these kids crying on the field, you see them getting frustrated, and some parents that competed at a high level, regardless of what they kind of still have that mindset, because it takes a certain type of mindset to make it to college and anything, a different mindset to make it to Division I and then to pro, right?
Yeah.
Like and sometimes it's parents, they forget that, hey, your son's still a kid, So
I think it's like I feel like I've seen a lot just because, like, I mean, we're Hispanics, right? I think it's just like natural that you have to play soccer.
Yeah.
Or at least your parents have that dream of playing soccer because they played soccer once in their life. And
yeah,
I've seen I remember this one of my friends, I guess he was like, his dad's really good, and he pushed his kid to be really good. And I think mindset wise, he thought he was really good. And so when he tried to go to the, what's the one in Salt Lake? What's the team?
Real Salt Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To go train with him, I think that's just like the level that he thought he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And like that realization that hits that you're like, damn, you're not really that good, even though you were built up to think you were really good. And, and I think that's interesting to see how the mental game can go both ways.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can be strong and mentally and endure sometimes the tough training, but be able to understand, but then also get built up. Because I feel like a lot of parents do either over push their kids or over hype them up. And like, I understand you have to believe that you're the best to be the best, but sometimes like you can go, and I think that's where that fine line goes. And it's kind of sad to see sometimes because, man, like you could see that these people devoted their whole life to soccer, at least in this case.
Yeah.
And then for not to be able to perform in those type of levels, which you can take it again 2 ways. You can keep pushing yourself or just.
And I think the pushing, all I can do, and what I tell my boys and Maya is like, hey, like you have to put the work in. Like I can't, I don't want to force you to put the work in. I don't want to tell you, hey, it's time for you to go practice or do this. Like at the end of the day, like they've seen the levels that they've played in right now. Jacoby's seen a little bit higher levels now, but it's just like if you want to be better than that, it's gonna require work. But I can't do the work for you. If you want it, you have to get it. And I love telling him the story of Kobe Bryant. I think when he was like 13 or 15, he went to a summer camp, played basketball, didn't score a single point. And then he decided to put in the work. And there's a video where he talks about like, hey, if I put in, 2 hours of work every day, where most kids are only putting in maybe 1 or 2 hours, 3 days a week. But if he does it every day, he's going to get that much better. Yeah. And then by the time he was 18, he went to the NBA. So in like a 3 to 5 year period, he went from not scoring to being pro. And my kids right now, they're still at that young age where like, I want to be a pro soccer player or I want to do that. And really for me, it's just like, I want to enjoy the youth sports experience as much as I can, soak it in with them because they're not going to be young forever. But then also like, man, if I could help them find opportunities to go play in college and have their college paid for, and even just keep that competitive level. Because if you can walk away from sports and have that competitive level and then apply it, that competitive mindset, and then apply it into the workforce, into entrepreneurship, and come in with that drive, like I want to be one of the top, and that you have to work hard for it, that you got to prepare for it, practice for it, then it's just a mindset that could also benefit you very well. Because I do think these younger generations are going to be soft, and perseverance is going to be something that's going to have to be, it's a skill that you got to pick up, and I don't know how many of the young generation, they just grow up differently, and you hope they're going to be strong, right? Like I hope you have a strong young generation, but I'm going to try to build some beasts when I can. So
yeah, no, definitely. I like how you said like the Kobe Bryant analogy, because like you apply the same principle. I thought about the same way when I first got my first job doing video, and it wasn't paying as well. But I would tell my wife, I'm like, but I'm going to be able to do this every day. Yeah. And I'm like, eventually I'm going to be able to do it good. Like, and like I said, that principle, I like the same analogy, just because I kind of applied it the same thought into what I was doing. Cause you can apply it to anything you're doing in life. Yeah. Not just like sports and stuff, but
I think one of the coolest things I heard, I think it was a recent podcast that I saw, I think it was Paige from Real over in Utah. She was at a podcast and she said something, and I know it's been said several times, but you don't really have to depend on discipline as much when you're passionate about something because you're obsessed with it, Yeah. And I think I'm finding myself in that situation right now in my life today. It's like, what am I actually obsessed with? What do I actually want to do? Why is my discipline lacking in some areas? And it's really made me realize that like I'm not obsessed with everything that I'm doing. I don't have the passion, so I gotta find my reset. I gotta find my video, right? Yeah. What that is and what that means for my life. And I think I know what it is. I think I just gotta put myself in a position to do that.
Right.
All the time.
I never forget that one time that I went to film a soccer thing for you, and Quincy asked me like, so what are some of your hobbies? And I'm like, I really couldn't think of anything. I'm like, well, this is like video is my hobby turned into my like And so I'm like, that has never like left my mind for some reason, because I'm like, damn, I really don't have hobbies. Like I'm like, I don't have anything else. Like I don't. Yeah, it's crazy. It is very crazy. Like you hear it a lot. Yeah. But until you don't live through it, you don't understand exactly what that means. Like,
I know. I love writing. I love public speaking. I feel like I have stories and ways to help motivate others to do amazing things, you know. But I just got to find what I'm really obsessed with, you know. And right now, for me, honestly, it's being a father, you know, being around my kids and just embracing that. But I'm coming from a perspective of losing my own family, my mom, my dad, and my sister. So it's like, I think that's where I really want to kick ass at. Like if I could look back 20 years from now, I want to be able to say like I was a kick ass dad or family man. Right. You know, that's where I want to be.
No, definitely. I think even I talk to my wife now. I'm like, I can't imagine my life working a 9 to 5 and missing out on all the small moments. Yeah. It's so weird. Like I just can't. I wouldn't even think of like. I don't forget when I did work a 9 to 5. Yeah. But now I can't imagine myself working a 9 to 5 and just missing out. Yeah. Like, it's so weird. Yeah. And so I'm like, we're truly blessed, because I think that itself is like an accomplishment itself. Just not being there. And
yeah, that's huge. And that for me, that's super important, especially for my kids, is can I be there on the sidelines? And if I'm not there for your game, it's because I'm having to be over here for your sibling. You know what I mean? Right. And I think they all understand that. Joey had his game yesterday, and he just wanted to make sure that, you know, I recorded it. You know, Quincy's sick, and her voice is kind of gone, so she wanted me to coach. So now I'm coaching him. He wanted to make sure his brothers were watching him. Like he was like wondering why grandma and grandpa haven't been there yet. So like they're so important to them. You know? So to be there is everything. So
I think when you're young, it's hard to understand. Yeah. Like, especially like when I was young, I remember my mom would try to make it to like, you know, when like, especially Christmas time, you start doing your sing-alongs when you're younger. Yeah. Like I don't remember the memories clearly, but I remember my mom trying to be there all the time. Yeah. And like, I know my dad couldn't be there. Right. But I do remember my mom showing up, and like them going sometimes to my soccer games, even though my dad would get off super late, and like, or like he would take me before my brothers. Like I had my brothers. I don't know why, but I remember my dad taking me to go play basketball after work. And I told my brothers, I'm like, maybe I didn't have them present as much, or maybe they didn't have money, but like I would never trade anything right now, because I got my parents when they're young, and they try to be present. And maybe at the time they couldn't make it to everything, and I would be like, oh damn, my parents are not here. But like thinking about now and the situation they were in, like, man, that makes you like feel so grateful, because like at least they tried to make it to some of the important things, even though they really couldn't, if that makes sense. So man, it's just like it's crazy once you hit, and I think it's crazy when you hit a certain age, because I understand when you're a teenager and stuff, you don't always understand. Yeah, you hear, but you don't comprehend what's going on. And then especially I think, man, once you turn into a father or like a parent, like your life does change. And people tell you this, but it does, until you don't live it, you won't understand it. Yeah, and it's a cool feeling. It definitely is a cool feeling.
Yeah, I remember my dad taking me to soccer tryouts going into my freshman year. I wanted to make varsity. I did, by the way. But we were coming back, and we got in a car accident, and it messed us both up pretty bad. I think about stuff like that. You know, I think about him going to Boise to watch me for a soccer tournament for the club team I was on. He'd never done stuff like that, you know? So it was really cool to like, he did the most with me than my other siblings, and it was cool to see him try. And, you know, and for me, like, it's not like I was upset that he couldn't come. Like back then I even understood, you know, like, but now that I'm in that position, it's like, if I can coach you, I'm going to coach you, you know, if I'm going to go watch you, like, and the crazy thing is like right now, like when we're driving, Yeah, like 13, 14-hour drive to Arizona to watch him play one game on Saturday, one game on Sunday, and then we're coming back.
Yeah.
But to me, like, he loves it. He loves his teammates. He loves to compete. He's a big Dragon Ball Z fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So have you ever watched Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, I've seen a few, yeah.
Yeah, and I've started watching it again with him, and Goku is his dude, and he just loves how he just never gives up, always fights, gets stronger every time with every battle, and he's got that mentality. So I'm like, I want to support that and support him and just be there. You know, that's my biggest thing.
Really cool. Yeah. So if you're a parent, listen, because I've had situations that I like that apply into my like maybe my life, with my wife, like even as like a dad, like it does. You sometimes you just need to listen to it from it. You have to listen from someone else to understand. Yeah. Like things like that. So.
And it's it morphs, man. Like the era that you're in right now as a dad. Mm-hmm. I remember, having little kids, and there was a point where Jacoby was 4, Maya was 2, and Noah was just a newborn.
Yeah.
And you're just like, shit, is it going to be like this forever? Like, right? Like things are a little bit different with you and your wife. Like she's, working all the time with the kids, and then all of a sudden, like, it just kind of changes things, and they get a little bit older, and you're like, hey, I don't have to change diapers anymore. But damn, now we're running to ballet, to gym, to all these things. And sometimes you're so caught up in the moment that you forget, like, these are actually the best moments of your life. You can sit and stress, and that's the biggest thing that for me, I always say is like, this is hard, but like, let's learn to enjoy it, because one day we're going to miss trying to find Noah's shoes,
right.
We're going to miss scrambling and sitting outside in the rain while Jacoby's playing a game. It's like, we're going to miss these moments. So having that ability to step outside, and because you don't want to have arguments over your children's activities and things like that, you really just got to try your hardest to embrace it and know that, hey, we're going to miss these days,
I think right now what helps a lot to enjoy the moments is like now we have our phones, or like things that we couldn't like you look at your Snapchat, and a year ago, like I really assume like the baby, like I could hold her almost in like my whole palm.
Yeah.
And then you look at her like being a little menace running around, like, so you're like, damn, like time has flown by without like in the blink of an eye. And even like I see memories 6-7 years ago with my wife now, and like, hey, do you remember when we were doing this? And like, and you're like, holy crap, like,
El tiempo no perdona, man. It's not only with your kids, but even for me, it's just like, damn, my dad passed away in 2018. That's already been 7 years, bro. Like,
that's crazy.
That's just crazy for me. You know what I mean? So like, life starts to fly. Like, I'm going to be 40 this year. My mente, my mind, I don't feel any different than I did when I was 20, but shit, man. Like, when we were doing that one real estate video, I was like, should I do a flip off this? I had to think about my future, right? Like, what am I going to do to myself if I try this? So it's crazy, man. It's totally different. It's nuts.
Definitely. No, yeah. I like this conversation a lot. What time are we at?
We're at 28 minutes, man.
28 minutes?
Yeah.
God damn, I felt like we've been going on for a long ass time.
Yeah. No, we still got time to talk.
Damn,
man.
That was a reflection right there.
Yeah.
It literally felt like we were going for over an hour right there.
Really?
Yeah. No joke. Yeah. Damn. Oh, sorry guys. No. I was trying to cut it short.
Yeah, he was ready to. Yeah. Like, all right. Well, thanks. See you. Catch you on the next one. So
reflect and take it in. No, but what else? What else is going on right now that it's kind of hard to jump from that to something else?
Yeah, you mentioned the Wilder event that happened over in the Boise area, right?
Yeah. I think it's a little on the outskirts. Yeah, that is crazy. That happened last Sunday?
Yeah. That's all over the news.
Pull up some of the info about that. But yeah, if you guys haven't, I'm sure it's been on national headlines right now.
Wilder, Idaho, 105 undocumented, people detained, and illegal gambling for horse racing, I think, was kind of the lead thing why they were watching it. I think there was like cockfighting as well, not the cockfighting you enjoy, but the roosters fighting, those gallos. Yeah, man. What other information? I'm sure you guys have maybe heard about it. If you haven't, John's got some info for you here.
Yeah, so basically, everything he touched up, like there was a warrant executed for the illegal gambling, animal racing, and animal fighting. Um, and then it says, according to the FBI, other federal agents, 4 people were initially arrested on federal charges connected with the operation. A 5th was arrested later. In addition to the criminal arrests, the U.S. Immigration ICE reported that 105 individuals present the event without legal status. Officials estimate that about 400 people were attendance at that event. Damn, so they took 1/4 of everybody that was there. Let's see, there was even the American Civil Liberties Union of Idaho present there that law enforcement used military-style tactics, including zip tying children, use of rubber bullets, large number of agents, and detaining many attendees regardless of connection of alleged illegal activity. Let's see what else. Brad Little released a statement defending the action, saying that the state supported the warrant execution and pointing to the link between illegal gambling, animals, and other serious crime. Let's see. Raises significant questions about the intersection of ICE and criminal investigations, the FBI. So basically, the understanding that I got was a lot of people are upset because it looks like they involved ICE and they used that like not excuse but that warrant to basically sweep everybody else, just like all in one. Let's just take everybody, which is kind of sad because I heard someone say that the gambling, they get it, but who doesn't bet on like football or sports and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
And so basically the gambling is what they're saying is like, oh, they're betting on the horses and stuff.
Yeah.
The animal fights, I guess, like times are different now and we get it. Like they're throwing the animals there to kill each other. That's basically what it is. But I mean, we fucking do boxing events, right?
Yeah.
Just because it's regulated doesn't like, it makes no sense. But I saw that and there's a lot of reports of people getting beat, even though they weren't even like nothing to do with it, which is hard. And I get it. And you got to understand these small towns, they're like, if you're living in another Mexico, man, like these are all farm towns, all Hispanic people, like
smaller than Blackfoot. I think it was 1,800 people in that town.
And I mean, you're talking about like in Mexico, this is something normal. Like it's not nothing. And I get it. Like there's that line from legal and not legal, but I mean, you're talking about a community of all Hispanics that are basically growing and working on farms. And, you know, I saw this thing saying how to explain it. I'm going to use our military as an example. The owner of the coffee company, I'm trying to remember, Black Rifle. He talks about the story of how they got a $10,000 coffee machine, or express machine, what it was called. Yeah. And there's people that were like outraged because of the you're like, we're wasting our tax money on that. But then you understand the concept behind it. It boosts morale. It keeps them like motivated and doesn't make them miss home. Yeah. And you think about the same concept here. Like, man, these people are just out there working and that's their whole life. Yeah. Just working. So like events like this give it that boost of morale so they don't forget what home is, you know? Yeah. So when events like this happen, especially here in Idaho, it's really hard to comprehend because like, man, everybody that's working the farms is usually undocumented or Hispanic in the most generalized. So it's hard to see that. It's very sad, especially because they talked about if the FBI was working on it, why couldn't they have made these arrests? And if they had the warrant, why couldn't they made the arrest when there wasn't a community event? So it's hard. And then you see the arguments, right? You have those people who are like, oh, they were illegal, they deserved it, blah, blah, blah. You know, I think the biggest thing for us is like, one, the human side of the whole thing. Like out of those 105 people, like what's their family status? You know, where their wives and parents, are they now, you know, separated, or like what's going on? It was traumatic, right? Like you would think something like this would be done with a little bit more precision, you know. Unfortunately, the way it was done, and even the aftermath, right? Like,
they're saying like, oh, there were teens that were zip tied. They weren't children, right? But it's like a teen's a child, 14, 15-year-old, still a child. You're giving ammo. There's really ammo on both sides with all this. Like even I think the sheriff for Canyon County, and I don't remember what other one, was like, hey, that statement from the Homeland, was inaccurate, right? That like that's not what was happening. This wasn't a ice sled raid, But yeah, man, I think to me it makes me sad that it happened. Like, I mean, and here's what makes it hard too, right? Like if you want to look at both sides, it's like they went and busted up an illegal gambling ring, and ICE shows up, and sounds like they detained a lot more than the 100. There's 105 that are still detained. They detained some people that had the right to be here, and then they were later released. But it's like, shit, now they're out there doing that, and that's essentially their job. They have a right to do that, but it doesn't mean it's not damaging the families that are there. Like you look at the human element, and even, the economic impact. Like those people are probably working for someone somewhere there. That's going to harm a local business. But to me, it just goes back to like, we got to actually fix the system. It's a broken system, right? Like the people that are there, it's not like they're not working. Someone's taking advantage of that low cost labor, right? Like, I think that's the problem with just our politics in general. Like, we want to debate about shit. We want to gain votes on both sides, Democrats, Republicans, but like we don't actually want to fix this shit, because how do we not fix this after, and I've said this before on previous podcasts, immigration has been a debate since the 1980s, maybe even before. Like 1986 is the last time there was some form of amnesty done with Reagan, but it's like, but we didn't really look at the long-term effects of what that could cause either, But we need better systems. We need, I had someone just buy a house that had been waiting for 6-7 years to be fully legalized, right? It's just like, it shouldn't take that long. Like I think with the people that are already here, we got to look at something, like especially people that have been here for a long time, that are paying taxes, that are not getting into trouble. Like everyone's like, well, amnesty, what about the people that it's just like, look, something needs to be done. So I get it. Laws are laws. They were made by people in suits that maybe have never looked any of these people in the eye. There are criminals, and I think criminals, whether they're illegal or legal citizens, need to be dealt with. But not everyone, and I get it, being here illegally is viewed as a crime, right? But at the same time, like we've got to do better, and we're punishing illegal immigrants. We're punishing the people that hire them because we have a broken ass system that hasn't been updated or improved. And there's half-ass on both sides, and that's the biggest thing that we can't ignore, right? Like Democrats, they're all about humanity and all this shit, but then they shrink and shrivel when it comes down to like actually fixing shit, right?
Yeah.
And they do it in a manipulative way where they want to earn more votes and they want to change different things, and that's the problem. It's like we're using these people as political pawns, and it's not working. Like we need real solutions. That's why all these career politicians that have been here for the longest time that keep complaining about this and keep complaining about that, but it's like, y'all were quiet when Obama was deporting more people. He's the deportation king. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Biden is right there next to him. George Bush too, Trump as well. But it's just like, it's just viewed differently, Yeah. But also Republicans' fault because they're coming out here with an iron fist saying, hey, we're not going to, we're going to send them all home. We're going to build a wall. It's like we need to find something better than just, than what's happening, because it's obviously not working. And we're setting up heartbreaks, trauma, all this stuff that happened, how it happened there. There's going to be people that were harmed, you know, and it was just done very sloppy. Like, could we have swept these people up, like those 4 or 5 people up? Sure. But if the goal was to come in and deport 105 people, that's what they did, but it was very sloppy, in my opinion.
Yeah. And let's not forget to mention, like, we're in a government shutdown right now. I have friends that we're talking to, and they're like, well, our program, that work for the government, and like, our program only has funding till the end of the month, and then we'll see from there. Like, think about that. Like, I want to say a lot of the people that have a decent paying job work out for the government, at least here.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel, imagine how that's going to affect our whole community.
Yeah.
Because that is crazy.
Yeah. And if you're big on just, like Second Amendment, for example, like one of the biggest reasons people want to protect that is to protect themselves from a tyrant or a government that is out of control. And there's a lot of people that are like, hey, we have federal agents that are actually going after American citizens, so it's just this crazy thing where it's just like, at some point, like, what are we going to truly defend? Because you can't be about, certain things to protect yourself from a government that is tyrannical while also supporting a government doing tyrannical things that are, the federal government they have the ability to abuse us if they suspect us of something, right? So it's just one of those things where you look at what happened over there, and it's unfortunate. The whole thing's unfortunate because the reality is, like, would these 105 people have been caught the way they were caught if they weren't attending something that had illegal activity surrounded, around it, But it's like, could they have arrested those 4 or 5 people without having to create this scene that is now national news? And the biggest thing for me is, like, you have the federal government, the Department of Homeland Security, saying we did this, it was ICE-led, and then now you have the local authorities saying, like, whoa, wait a minute, like, no, it wasn't, right? So there's just this big disconnect, and I don't know. There's times where I wish that we would look at things in a more human way, but then also understanding that, like, damn it, they're within their rights to do what they did, even though it was horrible and traumatic. Like, I don't think there's going to be accountability for anyone,
Yeah. It's hard to think about it because at what point do you can't do anything? Like, even someone like us that we were born here, like, can you not go to an event anymore?
Yeah.
Because then that's going to happen. Or are they going to start just going house to house?
Yeah.
Like, am I just going to be driving and out of nowhere, like,
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. It just kind of reminds me of, like, you see, like, movies back when slavery was abolished and people still didn't give a fuck, like, you're like, you're free, but they still, like, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to think about situations like that.
That's where I don't want to have myself, my kids, our people that are here as Americans. I don't want them to be prisoners of that idea in their mind, right? Like, I'll never, doesn't mean it'll never happen to me, no, but I don't ever want to live with the idea that there's a target on my back, because that's what those who do fear tactics want us to believe. And sometimes that's our own people. That's the own Democrats, Republicans. They want us to be afraid. I don't ever want to live with that fear. For me, I'm living in a free country and it's free for me. And I realize it's different for someone else, but I don't ever want to feel that because of the color of my skin, I'm going to be looked at in a specific way, and it's hard, right? Because we do see people that we love, and we both, like, we both have a common friend, that I had to help when he got pulled over because he didn't have his stuff and he was undocumented. And the way that it happened is how I would like to envision that that's how it would happen to most people. Like, hey, come give me a ride. I got pulled over. Cool. Right. I got you. And then you hear about this stuff and it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of people that were impacted in a very negative way.
Right.
And if that's the goal, which right now I feel like for the Republican side, I forget the guy's name who's in charge of all of that, they're very hardcore about it.
Yeah.
And I think we need to figure out a balance in the middle. You can't let everybody in freely. We can't have open borders. But I think as a country, we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, we've fucked up. We have let this broken system go on for way too long, and we need to do something for the people that are here and find a better way to figure things out for people that are trying to get here.
So the director of ICE is Todd Loins, and then he reports to the Secretary of Homeland Security, which is Christy Noem.
Yeah.
Noem.
Yeah. Which you keep, by the way. I know that's irrelevant, but what's up? Yeah, but that guy, the Holm or whatever dude, he's hardcore, man. He's blunt. I can see why people don't like him, but I think we just need to get back to like public servants who are going to serve the people, who are going to serve humanity, who will help back up and make laws that are good for everyone, not just people that are there for the donors and to win votes and elections, you know. But
Yeah,
it's a broken system that we have, man.
that's like we were talking about last episode. This is definitely one of those situations that like that you're not seeing a lot of people promoting our local elections. You know, I want to refer to that one person that went balls wild when Trump won on social media.
Yeah.
And like, where's the post now? Where's the push for this? Like, you're getting upset over something that far away down the line where there's not been a huge push for these local elections. And, you know, like, those are the ones that are going to affect us. And then next runner up is Mr. Little that's been in office for so long.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not liking the shit he's doing, then next time elections are up, this is where we're supposed to be pushing our shit.
Yeah.
So like, it's definitely hard to grasp that. Like, you care so much about something that's not affecting us very directly. It's more indirectly over something that's going to affect us, even to the damn pothole that fucking you keep hitting on 17th Street. You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see what's going to happen in these couple years and like how people are like. I feel people are starting to wake up. I gave you the example of my mom.
Yeah.
My mom fucking raged when I told her, I'm like, well, maybe people should be getting deported because they have that mindset of being Democrat. Like that's like burned into them, and they don't even know why they're Democrat. You know what I'm saying? But then I gave you the example was she started listening some of the Charlie Kirk stuff, and actually listened to the whole thing. And taking into consideration, this is a woman that came when she was 14, 15 to the United States, not knowing any English, to be able to comprehend to a certain level of what this guy's saying, to understand and process, be like, you know what, this guy's not that off. Like his principles are not that off, and I understand why he says things now. Yeah, and to have that conversation with my mom and like, Mom, I understand that we were meant to believe that we're Democrats, but doesn't mean that all their ideas are great. Yeah, and they're not saying that the Republican Party is terrible, but you got to think about the situations we're in, where we're at, and how it affects us, and to be able to have just that conversation with her. Not saying that she's gonna switch or think that like, but I understand it's not the same party that's was here when they came. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting, and it's great to see people waking up and understanding and being able to understand the politics to a different extent than just we're voting red or blue.
And I think that's the biggest thing is like, I actually enjoyed that. I mean, I wouldn't say our votes were split pretty evenly, you know, as a Hispanic community, but they were split a lot more than, you know, other ethnicities or races and stuff. But to me, like, and you even get people that are like, wait, you voted for a Republican or you're a Republican? Like, isn't that against your own kind or whatever? It's just like, that's not... I think there are things we can learn from white people, right? Like they've been here, you know, for a while. They've been in the political system for a while, and they're so split and they're so passionate. And I'm excited for us to get to the point where it's just like, well, I don't vote a certain way because I look a certain way. I vote a certain way because I think on my own, and I got to vote for my, you know, own best interest. And I hope, you know, our people get to that way, because like, it's not like the Democrats have delivered. We're still in a broken system, and both sides suck. Like both sides suck at actually fixing shit. They're great at trying to gain our vote, but when it comes to fixing shit, like if we had this whole immigration system fixed, Wilder would have never happened. You know,
I just pulled up some stats to talk about what you just mentioned, and this is just based off of the presidential election that just happened last year. So Trump in the state of Idaho won almost 67% of all the votes, and the Hispanic population in Idaho was about 13%. So it says the national survey showed Trump received roughly 48% of the Hispanic vote in the 2024 election overall.
Yeah.
So there's no actual like stats apparently for the state of Idaho, but just in general, he won 48% of the Hispanic vote.
And I think that's important to remember. And I think sometimes our white Republican friends need to remember that too. Like, you know, we can't just turn our backs on all Hispanics, right? Because there are a lot of us that have a lot of, I believe, Republican values, but we also have a lot of Christian values as well,
Right.
you know, and, you know, this whole stuff going on with ICE and stuff. It's, as a human, I think it's so important to look at it compassionately, and the human side of things, you know, understanding these are the laws, this is what they're able to do, but also like there's got to be a better way, you know.
100%.
But then we got to get involved in the solutions too, you know. So yeah, it's hard, but it's cool to hear that, you know, our vote was split 50-50, because to me that means we're evolving, right? Like that's what we should be. No party should own any race, because if there's a race that's owned by a party, that race will continually be victimized and feel like they can't get ahead.
Yeah.
And I think we see that, you know, like in a lot of cases. So
100%.
yeah, but that's hard, dude. Politics are interesting, and, you know, I know we might share a lot of, you know, similar views when it comes to politics, and one day it'd be nice to have two other people here that completely disagree with what we're saying. But again, I'm one of those people that I think you should have conversations with people that you disagree with, and dialogue is super important to have, and you should be able to communicate in a way where, you know, it's not, you're not arguing, you're not fighting, you know. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's wild, man. It's a crazy time right now in the world. There's so many things going on. I get in rabbit holes about Charlie Kirk, you know, and there's other topics and things that I'd love to touch on, but I'm almost like afraid to touch on them now, because you just never know what people are capable of, or, you know, it's wild, man. We're in a interesting part of the world, and like you said, local elections are happening right now, and those are important. So hopefully everybody gets out there and votes. I love what Juan's doing. He's getting involved, and he's trying to get others involved. And to me, like, that's how it should be. You know, like right now people are talking about things that have happened. Like this ICE thing is a big thing to talk about, but they're pretty quiet about the local election. So it's like, so what are you,
crazy.
What are you doing? You know, like, I don't know. It is what it is.
Damn.
But
good episode.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to touch on? We got 7 minutes if you wanted to hit on.
Well, I did want to talk about the site thing with the government shutdown, and and maybe this is the last thing we touch on, but I wanted the Democrats caused the shutdown, what I understand, but one of the things was like our military is paid off of the government pays for their military, and then one article I saw that Trump was able to find funding for our troops creatively, and he got a lot of backlash for that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that is very hard to understand and comprehend, because and it goes back to the concept, you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
But that itself, I don't see how it could be how people could be upset over that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, these are the people that are supposed to be defending our freedom, which at this point, what is our freedom, right? But it's still the concept of being upset to have them paid. So, like, are you expecting everybody to work for free, or like, it's hard to grasp the concept. We're
in this weird time in our society where we refuse to give credit when credit is due for the good things. That happens when Obama was president, when Biden was president, when Trump's president. Like, there's some good things that Trump has done, like all these peace deals with other countries. Like, people don't want to celebrate that are against him, you know? So it's just this weird thing where, like, why would we complain about paying our troops, you know? And if he finds ways to, you know, fund the people that work at the site or other government workers. Like,
I fucking hope so. It's a fucking nuclear site out there. Like, who the fuck is gonna be taking care of it if nobody's getting paid? So
yeah, Democrats keep pulling the whole. Well, they have the Senate, they have the House, they have like why can't? And it's just like, well, do the math. Like they need Democratic votes to pass this. It can't just be voted on by just all of the Republicans. Like they're still short on votes, even though they have the majority. They don't have enough to pass this stuff. So, and that's what I hate is the political posturing on both sides, because it happens on both sides, right? But at the end of the day, it's like you hope they figure it out. Like I think our overall deficit or our debt is the highest it's ever been. Got a lot of crazy shit happening, and you just never know, what. I just hope that we're heading towards solutions to the problems that we have, like immigration, Social Security, healthcare, and then I hope that we're heading towards world peace, right? Like no more wars. Like let's just focus on each other. Like we can't control all the atrocities that are happening in other countries, and we also can't create atrocities that are happening just so we can invade them either.
Right. No, I agree. So, damn. I would like to talk for the next episode, the Israel and
Gaza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know Ivaris is very into that.
Yeah.
I would like to get into more into that. And I've been just looking at a little bit what's going on, but I think for the next episode, we can kind of dissect what's going on there.
And that one's a hard one for Christians and just, a lot of people, because, I mean, and I'll go ahead and say it, like, I don't know if I believe that Israel, the state that is there today, is the same one from the Bible. I think the things that are happening are not Christ-like, but there's so many crazy, weird things coming from that whole situation that it's like you got to be careful with it. I think some of the bigger influencers, I think I saw Theo Vaughn and Candace Owens basically saying like, they had to disclose like, hey, I'm not suicidal. I don't know if you've seen that, but they're like, I'm not suicidal. I wouldn't never kill myself. So if something happens, just know that like it was something to do with this, because I think people are starting to step out and speak out, but they're also afraid to, because people think that Charlie Kirk was about to leave that movement, and you saw what happened to him, so yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely something to talk about though, because I'm curious how our listeners feel about all of that, so, but yeah, I'm excited to have Rice back, and definitely miss, having her kind of chime in, because this probably would have been a good episode to kind of get her, her
we would have gotten in trouble.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think so. I think she does a good job, and she's definitely has stepped into who she is more so than our first few episodes,
100%. But
yeah, it's been cool. But we about hit that hour mark, so that was a good episode.
I felt like the first half, but I thought we were talking for a long ass time.
Yeah,
like not in a bad way. Like it wasn't like, oh, this is dragging. I just felt like we went really deep in the conversation. You're like, holy shit, time's flying.
Yeah,
but
those are the good ones. So
100%.
Appreciate you guys watching. If you have any opinions on youth sports, on immigration, on anything like that, please let us know. Your guys' comments sometimes will drive our content for the next few episodes as well. So we always love to hear your opinions, and we'll do a better job at engaging with you guys on the socials. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Take care.